Thank you all. I would like to call upon Srujana to lead us into prayer.
मुदाकरान्तमोदकं सदा विमुक्तिसाधकं कलाधरावतं सकं विलासिलोकरक्षकम् अनायकैकनायकं विनाशुतेव दैत्यकं नटासुभासुनाशकं नमामि तं विनायकं जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश पाहि मां जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश रक्ष मां जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश पाहि मां जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश रक्ष मां जय गणेश रक्ष मां जय गणेश रक्ष मां.
Thank you, Srujana. Now I request Dr. M.V. Raghuram Sir, Dean Placements, to share his views.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, beloved Vice Chancellor, Rajesh Sir, Principal Mallikarjun Reddy Sir, and other dignitaries, a warm welcome to today's gathering. See, I'll just take 1 or 2 minutes. Just today I've seen, how many of you have watched the news flash that's trending for the last 2 hours regarding generative AI tools? Yeah? There's something called CrowdStrike. It's a company. It produced a tool called Falcon Sensor. It also has Falcon Flex. Okay, these are tools run by generative AI, which try to prevent hacking. They record the hacker's steps, and then it tries to kill it at the source, whatever it is. Unfortunately, when this patch is applied to the Windows 10 PCs, they started crashing, and for the last 2 hours, throughout the world, like in USA and in UK, other places, Australia, airlines are facing problems, railways are facing problems, banking transactions. So this is the other side of the coin I'm just trying to tell you. So this, because we are here with generative AI and what it can do and what is in store for our futures, just to inform you, this is a trending news that's happening. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, sir. We would like to invite our beloved principal, Dr. Y. Mallikarjun Reddy, sir, to deliver his notion.
So good afternoon, my dear students, respected dignitaries on the dais, my beloved Vice Chancellor Rajesh Garu, and representatives from the L4Z, and Dr. Raghuram Garu, faculty members and students. So as you know that the allied branches, there is a exponential growth in the technology. So what is happening from the last few years, right? So actually this generative AI is a word. 2 years back we don't know what it is, but now it is becoming very buzzing, right? So what it is actually and what it will do. So first of all you have to think about that, right? So when you have this in a software side coming, but when you see that how these technologies are improving, right, and also in the other side, so because of the increasing technology towards the artificial intelligence, so what we can say that it is a revolution. It is made by artificial intelligence. So there are a lot of changes are happened, right? So the first change is it is drastically decreases the employability, right? So this last year, most of the students they are suffering, right? So they are not getting jobs in software. Why? What's becoming? So this is because of artificial intelligence revolution. So what it is did? So it is made everything it is made, right, with automation. So you have seen that the automation, what you can say that Industry 4 and Industry 5 technology developments. So because of this automation happening that, so you need not write any code nowadays like that, because 1 year back where there is a lot of demand on writing Python programming, but now no demand on Python. So why it happened that? Because it is the code is writing itself, right? So once if you enter into that and it will check everything, and you are getting the code, a ready-made code you are getting. So there is no need to write code nowadays. But what is required? So required is called prompt engineering. That means that you have to ask the right question such that you have to get the correct information from the machine. So this has happened because of the improving in machine learning and deep learning technologies, right? And using, so because of that what happened, there is a lot of tools are generated. So what we call it as generative AI, right? Lot of tools, there are lot of tools are there in AI. So there is no need to write from scratch, no need to write. So no need to remember all the commands, right? All the commands are, so you are writing inclusion, all these things, no need to write all these things. Because everything is become automation, you are writing. So because of this, what happened, right? And there is a layer is formed where you have to just give the prompts such that you have to get the answer. So you know that at present, nearly 80% of industries in the world, 80% of industries in the world, they are using artificial intelligence technologies, AI. So they are completely changed their technologies towards artificial intelligence, right? So this is the, what you can say that this is what we call it as it is a software bubble, but we don't know when it will break, all right? So this is enlarging, this bubble is enlarging, and they are, because of this, we are developing lot of applications are happening that, and there are many like Microsoft Azure, Google, and Meta platforms, right, and Amazon, and there are many the companies, they are completely converted their technologies towards the artificial intelligence. But nowadays, slowly, again, the employability is going into other side where they are requiring the people in the different way. That is in the different direction, not software development, but maintenance. They have to do that. How you are going to maintain that, right? How you are going to use these tools. So usage of the tools now, it is becoming very much demanding in the companies, right? So therefore, in AI generated tools, you are going to learn lot of tools, right? Which already that is available in the Google Cloud, right? So many tools are available. So there, one is you see that ChatGPT from Microsoft and Gemini from this Google, right? So using them, you can get the many cloud computing tools are there. So therefore, there's a lot of the technologies that you're using with cloud computing, blockchain technology, and everything that is growing in one direction. So in other way, there is a security is also very important problem. So for that, we are using blockchain technology for secure the information, because when you are generating big data, a lot of data is generating. So there is must be data visualization, right, to visualize in the 3D model. So recently, we have seen that the 4D also is developed. 4D image is also coming with 16K resolution. So now the resolution also is increased. 16 to 64 also in coming years, right, we can get that. The 4D images also, and 4D films also are coming, right, in recent years, in the next coming years, that you can visualize that from 3D to 4D. So like that, there is a lot of demanding is there and a lot of importance for to learn the AI tools, right? So therefore, it is very much important for your students to grab the employability and to improve your intellectual levels or your performance. So learning this platform, learning these tools are very, very important for you. So apart from the curriculum, right? So at least if you get the certification courses on these tools, right? So definitely you will get very good jobs, right, in this direction, right? So I wish you to best of luck for you. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad to invite our Vice Chancellor, Dr. S. Rajesh Garu, to deliver his speech.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, and very warm welcome to Shweta ma'am, to you, and to your team as well. So it's first time I'm meeting you and all. So this is a very great, what should I say, it's a great opportunity for all the VVITians here who are in the final year. I think you need to take a leaf out of it, learn a lot. I mean, you have been learning for the past 4 years, but I think, this is something different, okay? A lot of people do talk about AI and things like that, but companies have come of age, okay? So I think when I was, we were studying a lot of time, whenever we know all this, when I was, where we were having some pages, and the first time we had pages coming in 97, we had pager coming. So first time we saw not even mobile phone was there. So I think, a lot of things have come of change, and now AIs are coming. So basically it is all about the cognition, what you want to think. So from thinking, what you infer, how much you infer. So a lot of inference engines will be there in AI, tools like, Google Cloud, whichever you want to use it. But I think, this is all part of history now. So you're all using it now. So I think this is a great learning opportunity. And thank you very much, ma'am, for coming. And thank you one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Ms. Sri Shweta Komineni is a seasoned program manager working across various industries like innovation programs, FMCG, and asset management. She also worked in financial planning analysis and assessment management domain. She had on-site transition experience from Frito-Lay US headquarters. We would like to have Ms. Komineni Sri Shweta to propose her keynote address.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon to one and all here, and respected dignitaries on the dais. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be here and also address the gathering. Very nostalgic, always coming back to an institution like this. I was not very privileged to have such a huge university, huge campus. I did it in Aurora Degree College back in Hyderabad. So it has come a long way, even from an educational perspective. While I was studying, I never had these opportunities where I did extracurriculars and all of these things, technology, given by big companies like Google, Microsoft, or Azure. Nothing was there. I'll keep it short. We will also walk you through why are we doing this, what is the process, how can you explore, what else do we have in store for you guys in the next presentations. All I would request or recommend is don't lose the opportunity, what is given by the companies to you. So make the best out of it, and wish you all the best.
Thank you, ma'am. We would like to continue this event with a generative AI technical session by Mr. Akash Simha, L4G Development and Learning Head.
Very good evening, or I should say good afternoon. to all the participants that have joined us today, respected dignitaries on the dais, the team from Google, from L4G, respected faculty members, heads of departments, students from final year and third year, I think, right? Mostly. Final year. So we welcome you here to this launch of this program. From what I know, I think most of you have already registered to this program. That's what I was told. So it's good to have all of you to be part of this program. I'm going to do a quick presentation on a very specific use case of generative AI. It's fairly technical. It might help you in terms of how to apply it, also maybe apply it to software development in general, across multiple roles. It can be machine learning, it can be general software development. It's also applicable to other disciplines as well. And I thank VVIT for giving us this opportunity. My presentation is going to be for like 20 minutes or so, so I request the dignitaries if there's anything. Is it audible to everyone? Yes, sir. If you want, we can increase the volumes. Okay. So as you can see, this is the topic that I would like to discuss today. It's a fairly important topic. It's a major transformation that we see in software development, applicable to all computer science students, even students from maybe disciplines like electronics, and also all the other derived branches of computer science. This is something that is going to have a tremendous impact on how we look at software and how do we use generative AI and apply generative AI to software development. Okay? So it's a presentation only focused on the software development process and how generative AI is actually transforming this. Okay? A more generic talk will be given by Ms. Shweta next, where she'll be talking about how you can make use of this opportunity and what are the next steps and things like that. So AI agents, a new era in software innovation. How many of you have heard about AI agent, the term AI agent? Just raise your hands. Okay, we see some faculty and some students. Okay, good. So maybe 5 to 10%. So it's a very interesting and innovative concept. This has been there for a long time. It's not new. The concept of an agent in artificial intelligence is an old concept. It's been there for a very long time, for many decades. But it has got a new meaning right now because of the intervention of generative AI. This concept of AI agents and its impact on software development is now getting the kind of importance that it should have. Okay, so let's see what it means, how is it relevant to us. And one more point I would like to make, this is an extension of what you are already learning. Most of you have registered into the 3-part learning program on generative AI by Google Cloud. So after you complete all the 3 modules, the beginner, intermediate, and advanced, you will want to explore this particular domain of AI agents. It's like an extension to your learning on generative AI. Okay, so please bear with me for a few minutes. Let's just look at what this is all about. Before we get into what the impact of agents, let's first look at some of the emerging domains in AI that are also attracting a lot of investments globally. I don't know if it's clearly visible, but there's a lot of names that you see on the screen there. I'll just read out some of them for you. And you see the graph is like starting off low, it's going up and then coming down and then stabilizing towards the right. Okay? So each of those curves have a meaning, and each technology, emerging technology in AI, falls into one of these parts in the curve. There are lots of emerging technologies like AI engineering, casual AI, causal AI, composite AI, there's prompt engineering, general intelligence, which is quite far away from now, neuromorphic computing, there's responsible AI, smart robots, AI simulation, multi-agent systems, all of these, they are still at the early stage of development. What you see at the left side, they are at the early stage. Generative AI is at the highest level. So you see at the top, I don't know if you can see it, but that's where generative AI is right now. The meaning is not that it is superseding all the other technologies, it's just that the expectation from the technology is high. Okay? So what we call as inflated expectation. So people, industry in general, is expecting a lot from this technology. It is also being applied to different verticals, different domains, different industries to see how it can add value to the industry. So that's what we call as peak of inflated expectation. So it's right now at the peak. It won't go any further up in its journey. It is going to go down a bit. That's the next curve that you see. As the graph comes down, the technology will see a slight drop in its adoption across industries. This is a common thing. This is again a report by Gartner. So there is fairly enough evidence for this to happen. The reason for the drop is because we will be seeing the actual reality, what it can do and what it cannot do. The expectation that we originally had, we will compare it with what is actually possible, and we'll come to a stable, productive stage. So the productive stage is towards the right. Okay? And it is going to take, I think, just about 2 to 5 years for generative AI to reach productive stage. Okay? So I think all of you are in the right position as of today in order to learn this, so that by the time you graduate, by the time you get a few years of experience in the industry, that is when you'll be seeing a lot more adoption of this technology. Right now, it's mostly hype, especially in India. But in the next 2 to 5 years, we will be seeing a lot more adoption. So you are like the early birds that are exploring this and getting a first-hand access to this technology. Okay. I just have one slide on evolution of large language models. All of you, I think, know what large language models are, right? Because all of you have registered, you would have at least heard, you would have used Gemini and ChatGPT both, or maybe even Microsoft Copilot, Claude, lots of other, even I think Llama is also now accessible, right, through WhatsApp. So you, I think, are accessing all of these platforms. Whatever you have access to today are the most powerful systems that we have today that are open to the public. The kind of foundation models that we are currently accessing, not open to us, but they are maybe for research as well as for internal development. We won't be talking about those. So we will only look at the list of all large language models that have evolved from, I think, 2018. So just 6 years ago, that was when this journey began. And then from 18 to 2024, this is just a very conservative list of models. There's a lot more, hundreds of models that are available. These are the most popular models because they have received enough funding, enough investment for them to grow and evolve. Okay? We see the journey of Gemini also. So Google was the first actually to start it in 2018 with their research on the transformer models. So from there, they've, in the next 4 to 5 years, this is a 2023 slide deck. So you see Google Bard at the right-hand side, but now it's renamed as Gemini. So on par with Gemini, you also have Facebook's or Meta's Llama and Copilot and ChatGPT and others that are equally powerful. Gemini has its own advantages. We'll discuss that a bit later. But this is the evolution, and they will still, they will definitely grow going forward. Okay, we can expect them to grow. They'll become more and more powerful. And we are at the right position in the right time to understand these technologies and try to apply them. Okay. Each of these models is trained on a different data set. The scale at which they are trained on is also different. The kinds of parameters that they have access to is different. The investment that has gone into these is also, it varies. But all of them have produced similar positive results, which is why we know that the technology is moving in the right direction. Misuse of technology is a different concept, like principals are commented earlier. Any technology for that matter can be misused. There is no doubt about that. It's all about how we apply what we know, right? So again, there are lots of policies from the government that are also going to come in to contain some of the misuse that might happen. Hopefully, it won't stop the development of these platforms. Okay, so moving on. This is the general product development life cycle. The reason why I'm talking about this is because I want to discuss the impact of generative AI on software development. So for us to comment on software development, we need to first see the general life cycle of any product or any software that is usually developed. You have like 7 stages. You start from identification of the problem to planning to design, develop, launch, assess, and repeat. So this cycle continues. The repeat part is continuous feedback. You get feedback once you deploy it, and then you make changes and redo, redevelop. The 4th stage that you see is the key stage. That is the stage where coding actually happens, the development stage. Whatever was planned, that comes into effect through code. So the coding phase is vital to this life cycle, and it's right in the middle. It's not in the planning stage, it is not in the deployment stage. It is right in the middle, but that's the most important stage because that is giving us the actual product. Now, how will AI is going to change this life cycle that we know, right? So once AI comes in, the product itself is renamed as an AI-based product. Any kind of interference of artificial intelligence in the development life cycle of a product, the product can be categorized as an AI-based product, right? It's not just only a software, but it will have an AI component. The moment it has an AI component, the development stage, if you see, is actually delegated to AI systems. So instead of human developers, human engineers, AI systems take the lead, and they decide a kind of model, a foundation model, along with the kind of data that they will need in order to conduct this development process, right? So this is the new life cycle that we see, and the remaining stages are as it is. They won't change, but the intervention of AI systems is giving us this transition. Now here there are lots of questions. I think one of the other speakers was also talking about unemployment and automation. So this is the stage where actual automation is actually happening, where our intervention when it comes to coding is not that relevant as of today when compared to, if you calculate the time that we take and the amount of investment that companies have to make on us in order for us to write code. So AI systems outdo or are much better at doing all these things. Now the question is, where do we stand, right? So I'll come to that point towards the end. end of the session. But let's move on. So this is the transition. Now how does this happen? How does this transition happen? How do AI systems, how can they become capable in a way that they are able to conduct the entire development process on their own with minimum intervention from engineers like us? So that's where the concept of an AI agent comes in. Okay, it's not an LLM that does this. Many of us might mistake LLMs with AI agents. They are two different entities. LLM is just a foundation model, right? It is trained on huge amounts of data, and it is just a machine learning model, right? An agent is a very specific entity, autonomous entity, that specializes in a very specific task that is assigned to it. Okay, it's more focused, not like an LLM. LLM is very generic. It can do multiple tasks, and you cannot get accurate quality output just from an LLM. You will need this autonomous level of intervention through the concept of agents. The general definition is very simple. So it's an autonomous entity that perceives the environment. It knows where it stands in the environment, and then it decides what it needs to do. It is capable of making or taking decisions and actions. It is goal-oriented, so you give it a goal, you give it some protocols, and it, according to what it needs to do, it tries to take decisions on its own, depending on the kind of resources it has, right? So it's a very powerful concept. And how does it relate to an LLM? How does this relate to an LLM? Can anyone guess how an agent can be related to an LLM? How do they differ? How are they similar? Anyone? Just as a quick. Okay. So you can think of an agent as a specific instance, the LLM that communicates. That can not only communicate with a single LLM, but also with multiple LLMs. It can also communicate with other agents like itself, right? So it's a very dynamic entity and autonomous. Again, you can think of it as an object that is created, that is instantiated from a much larger foundation model. Okay? How does it work? This is again, if you've studied the subject of artificial intelligence, maybe in your third year, you might have studied it. So there you might have seen expert systems, agents, and all of these. There's a lot of focus on agents even in reinforcement learning systems and all of that. So basically they are fine-tuned to the environment that they exist in, right? And they take relevant actions based on the environment that they are in. They have certain abilities, they have certain goals, and then they have some prior knowledge that is built in to these agents. So they use the prior knowledge, they understand the goals, and with the abilities that they have, they try and make their way through the maze that they are in order to achieve the goal that is assigned. Okay? Another important fact is past experience. So it remembers the past experience that it had. So this is another major advantage that agents have, AI agents have. General software systems don't have this. They can't remember. If they have to remember, they have to store all their memories in a database and only access those memories in a very specific and linear manner. You cannot scale it up to exponential data sources. So that is where agents have that edge over general regular software. I'd like to talk about 4 design patterns for agents. We are calling it agentic design patterns. Many AI researchers have noticed positive results by following these design patterns. Even Professor Andrew Ng also has been vocal about some of these patterns in the past 12 months. We've seen similar accounts from multiple publishers and researchers. What do they mean? there are 4 patterns: self-reflection, tool usage, planning ahead, and multi-agent collaboration. So these are 4 patterns that are applicable to AI agents, and all of this comes after you finish your generative AI course. Okay, this is the extension of that. Just by the names, I think it more or less you might get some idea about what it means. So what is self-reflection for an AI agent? Can anyone elaborate? Any guess as to, it's in the name itself, self-reflection. So when you give a prompt to an LLM system like Gemini, for example, it gives you an output, a response. Now, is that response accurate? It will be accurate in most cases, depending on the prompt that you give. But is it the best response that the system can give you? Are you 100% sure that it is the best response? No, it's not. We can be 100% sure that it is not the best response. Why is it not the best response? Because it gave you that response in a single attempt. It only made one attempt to understand your question, and it came up with an answer in its first draft. So it's like you writing an essay or a book, and you don't use the delete option or the backspace option. Whatever comes to mind, you just keep typing. Okay? So that is a first-hand account. So it's a first draft. It is not it's not your best work. You have to redo, you have to iterate through the content again and again in order to improve the quality. Same thing is applicable here, because these agents are mimicking human beings. What we do in our approach to improve our content, the same approach, the same design pattern is applicable to agents. So they go into an iterative state where the first output is, when you get the first output, the same output is given back to the system, and we ask the system to review itself, review the output that it generated. So it reviews its own output, it comes up with some feedback as to what is correct, what is wrong, is there any improvisation that it can make in the output. It comes up with some kind of feedback, and it applies the feedback to the first output, and then it gets a second output. So the second output is much more, is much better in terms of quality compared to the first one. Okay? So just in 2 attempts, you will see, I think, more than 50% different, depending on, again, the complexity of the prompt. We see a very high improvement in the quality of output. If you repeat this self-reflection process multiple times, let's say 5 times, 10 times, depending on it, also it's an expensive process, so you can't repeat it thousands or millions of times. It takes resources on the cloud to do this. But whatever is possible, if you are able to repeat this self-reflection, you are in a position to, the agent is in a position to give us much more valuable output, responses. Okay? So this is already in production. This is being used by many industries as of today. This is already a well-known and proven technique, right? Many LLMs are today are being tested with self-reflection, self-consistency kind of approaches. The next one is tool usage. So what is meant by usage of tools? Tool usage. What does this represent from the context of an AI agent? So tools, what do we mean by tools? Any examples that anyone can maybe come up with? So what tools are we talking about? When we say that an AI agent must be capable of using tools, what are the tools? The agent itself might be a tool. So what are the other things that it is capable of accessing or using? Any examples that you can come up with? No? So I'll give one example, something like web search, searching the internet. So if you enable the AI agent to search the web and then access content, so you are enabling it with an external additional tool. Whatever knowledge it already has, whatever it already learnt, if that is not sufficient, it should be able to go back to the internet and search for new content. Okay, Microsoft's Copilot does this very effectively. Gemini, Google's Gemini also is very good at this. ChatGPT not that much because it is contained a bit, but these other two LLMs are quite good at web searching the web for information. So that is just one example. Are there any other tools? You can give them access to multiple different types of tools, like for example, tools for simulation, tools for processing data, transformation of data, graphing data. You can use tools to solve complex mathematical problems, for example. Computation engines can be used as tools by AI agents, okay? If there's a complex computation that is involved in the task, right? So all of these increase the potential of the AI agent to give us more accurate and more valuable responses, right? So these, even tool usage is right now in production. Even ChatGPT, I think, has access to so many tools that you can see on the website. All of those are very specific tools that the LLM is capable of accessing. The last two design patterns are not fully proven. They are not, in a sense, they still need more testing because we don't have enough experience in order to handle the last two. They're still in work. It's like work in progress. Planning ahead. What do we mean by planning ahead? Planning in advance. So if a complex task is given, the agent should be able to divide the task into smaller subtasks, address each task separately, sequence the set of tasks that it needs to do, put them in proper order, and then address each subtask separately. If required, it has to apply the previous design patterns like self-reflection and tool usage in order to complete those subtasks. So that planning of solving a problem, dividing the problem into smaller parts, addressing each part separately, merging all the solutions together, all of these techniques, we as human beings, we do it, right? Because we've studied data structures, algorithms, we know how to do it. Because we know what we do, we write programs, and our programs also do it. But how to make an AI agent to do it on its own without our intervention? So that is where this planning stage comes in. It's a very important stage. We see a lot of progress in this, but there's a lot more to do. Based on the current data that we have, there's a lot more improvement that can be expected in planning ahead in the third pattern. The fourth one, as the name suggests, is collaboration between agents. So each agent has a very specific goal that it is assigned. And if there is any dependency on another agent to complete its goal, it should be able to collaborate, like how we collaborate. If we are working in a team, maybe you want some help from another team to complete a task, you go talk to them. It happens even in the corporate world, right? Multiple teams are working on a particular project, and the teams communicate with each other. So there is collaboration that happens. There is internal collaboration also. Inside the team also, team members actually collaborate, they divide tasks and all that. So that concept that we see in our world, the same logic is being brought into the world of AI agents, right? So that is a very powerful mechanism when multiple intelligent systems autonomously collaborate with each other on their own and make decisions on their own. We as humans, we will be able to verify what is happening. There are ways to keep these things in check. But the level of productivity that you will be seeing in this multi-agent collaboration pattern is so big and so huge compared to what we do manually. If you have to develop a software and collaborate with our teams manually versus what these systems are able to do, there's a huge difference. Okay? And if we like it or not, it is going to happen. The industry is going to absorb these. It is going to make use of these techniques. Okay? There's no doubt about that. The only question is how we as students, as developers, be a part of this ecosystem. So that is something we need to understand. We'll take one example of how agentic systems can be used to design an intelligent app like a social media application. Okay, so if you take social media, any social media platform, for example, LinkedIn. Let's be professional and take LinkedIn. So when was LinkedIn? When was it launched? Back in 2005, around 2005, 20 years before. When they designed LinkedIn, it was just a team of human programmers, coders, engineers, designers, who sat together, who did the entire planning, who did a lot of surveying, lot of market research. They then did a lot of planning, design, all those stages that we saw in product life cycle. All those were followed, and this app was developed. If you have to develop an app like LinkedIn today, in 2024, will you use the same approach that they used in 2005? Are you going to do the same thing? If you do the same thing, then you are already outdated. Okay, so you should not. Now, if you start writing code on your own, if you sit in front of your laptop, and if you start writing code, defining different modules, writing files for each modules, and then testing it, integrating to database, setting up the web server, and designing the UI, setting up controllers in between to mediate between the interface and the backend database. All of that, if you start doing now, you are following the 2005 approach. Okay, there's no difference. So today, if you have to do it, the same app, there's a completely different process that happens. We need to enable these AI agents that will do the job for us. So our job is to configure and design the agent, not design the app. The app will be designed by the agent. We must be one level higher. We need to design the agent. We need to give it tasks. We need to give it data. We need to give it tools. We need to give it the concept of self-reflection. All the design patterns that I discussed, all those have to be enabled to AI agents. And then they will use that power that we are giving it in order to complete these kinds of projects and applications. Okay? So just as an example, I don't know if the font is, can you see to the last row? I think the front rows can see. So I'll read out some of the modules, some of the agents that have to be created in order to set up a social media application today. So there is something called as a user profiling agent. What does this mean? It creates and manages user profiles. Everything, all the data of all the users that are signing up or registering to your platform, everything is managed by a single AI agent. Okay? Right now, today, if we are not aware of AI agents, what we do the entire management, right? We write programs, we write most of the code for doing controllers to control how the data is flowing from interface to database and vice versa. So we do all that manually today. But if it has to be automated, this is the process. So there will be an autonomous, intelligent agent that does everything for us. We will just tell it, these are the kinds of tasks that it needs to complete. It designs the code on its own. We will not interfere with the code generation. We will only give it certain protocols as to what is expected, and we leave it to the system to design on its own. Okay? Then there's another agent that comes in, content generation. So if it's a social media platform, the platform should be capable of generating content like posts, images, videos for users. Not only users, but users actually make use of the content that is generated by the platform. So generation of content is done by another agent which has that expertise. So we will be using all the image, video-based models that can be used, instantiated to create this content generation agent, right? Then once generation is done, you need curation also. So there can be an agent to curate content. What is relevant, what is not relevant, what is maybe fake, what is real. We have a lot of problem in the news domain because we are unable to separate what is true and what is not true, right? So there can be agents that can be trained to do this particular task effectively. recommendation systems as an agent. So what kind of content has to be recommended to you on your profile, on your when you log in, on your homepage? So depending on your preferences, there is a recommendation agent that is able to do that, right? Recommendations again come from, are across different groups, like recommending friends, groups, right? Recommending content, all of these are linked to the same agent because the underlying principles are the same. Whether it is recommending a friend or whether it is recommending content to you, the approach that is taking is, the foundation is similar, okay? Same way, sentiment analysis agent, user engagement agent, right? Community management, advertising agent. Then there's, if you see the 11th one, analytics agent is for people who are running the app, for them to understand what's happening, behavior, engagement related analytics. But if you see the 11th point, it is what is called as a security agent. So in one of the previous speakers suggested about a threat in security, right? Because of this generative AI systems not being tested properly and then deploying them, there can be some challenges. So, or even things like fraud and data that is getting, privacy that is getting lost and all of that. So a security agent is an agent that is able to contain all of these problems. So it is able to address these problems. It is specifically trained on addressing these problems. Now, a security agent will have to talk to other agents. Okay, it cannot do everything on its own. So what it should do, it should communicate with the profiling agent, the first agent. Whoever is managing user profiles, that and security have to communicate. They have to collaborate on their own with minimum interference from our side. Okay, so that is the level of automation that we need to be able to bring to applications as of today. Okay, India is still, we've not yet reached that stage, but many companies abroad are following some of these practices. India, the industry here has not yet come to this stage. It will take about a few more years until it is adopted. Partly because some of the product heads that we have here are more used to the conventional system, and they might also not get skilled people who are able to take up these kinds of tasks, right? Which is why they have to go with what is already available. So if you as students, if you have this kind of a skill set where you are able to design, deploy, configure intelligent systems, and then allowing these systems to work together on their own, that is a level of skill that is going to make you stand out. It's going to give you that additional edge, advantage compared to other developers. Okay? So this is how software development must happen as of 2024. Okay? I just gave this small talk to give some insights. Some of you might be aware of this, I don't know. But for the majority of the people, students here, if you are trying to learn something, final year students, if you have the academic project that you are working on, you want to build something that is slightly more intelligent than usually what you get from regular projects, you should try and attempt these kinds of use cases, right? So this will have a lot of so does this mean that you don't have to learn application development? Let's say there's a framework, there's a Python framework called Django, right? If you learn this, do you think you can avoid learning a web application framework completely? No. So if you think that, then it is wrong. Because if you don't know what the framework does, if you don't know what is needed in the application, how will you be able to train these agents to do the task that is required, right? So the foundation knowledge of how to develop applications has to be there. You cannot skip that. That's what you learn in college. In addition to that, this is an extension. Once you finish that, there is a lot of burden on you because more and more technologies keep coming in. You'll have to learn more. But that is what automation is. And you need to have the foundation basics. You should also be able to explore these advanced techniques. Okay? I'd like to conclude with just one slide, one anecdote. Never think about all of this, the environment that you're in as humans versus machines, okay? Don't think of generative AI as a threat. It is taking away jobs, or that you will become obsolete if you don't, I mean, whatever you do, the machine will be able to do it better. So that mindset only comes in when you are unable to adopt these changes. If you are able to get the expertise on AI agents, for example, you don't have to worry about losing a job in application development space at any point in the next 5 years, 10 years, whatever is the timeline, right? So think of it as humans plus machines. Consider generative AI as an augmentation of, or merging humans and machines together, working together and collaborating together. Okay? You need to know how to use these intelligent systems. And that is a way to learn from each other and also improve over time. Okay? Thank you. Thank you. Any questions? Let me. Any questions from the audience? How many of you have completed the advanced level generative AI Google Cloud learning path? Just raise your hands. Advanced level. Okay, I see quite a few. Okay, good. So that means all of you have studied all the modules in the advanced stage. So can I ask you some simple questions just to test your knowledge? So anyone who can explain what vector databases are? Because that's an independent module in the advanced stage. So what's a vector database? How is it different from a relational database? Anyone? Just raise your hand. We'll give you a chance to speak. No? Okay, so probably you know the answer, but you don't want to stand and speak. Maybe that's the, yeah. We have one speaker. Yes, please. Yeah, just tell us what you understood on the concept of vector databases.
The vector databases, the textual data or the images and videos, they are represented in vectors. The major difference between the conventional relational database and vector database are they are mainly used for faster retrieval of the data, and in which vectors helpful in representing the data in higher dimensional space.
Right. What kind of data? What kind of data are we talking about? What kind of data do they store?
Textual data, and the textual data which are processed by the large language models and handled by the generative models like images and videos.
Right, correct. Very good. So just give him a round of applause. Very good. So this is an advanced level database that is able to store unstructured data, images, videos, text from documents like PDF files, Word documents. So a conventional relational database like MySQL or Postgres is unable to do that, right? So we need to move to these higher level databases which have nth order dimensionality. They are able to store information in multiple dimensions, and there is a proper meta logging system for these databases. So you'll be able to retrieve information much faster, and they are applicable to RAG applications. You must have heard, right? I don't know if the course covers it. Retrieval augmented generation apps, which are also the future. So that is actually also one of the extensions of generative AI for web applications. So good. So we want everyone here to learn, complete this, and then apply what you've learned to this concept of AI agents. And also there are lots of other techniques. I've just given you one small example. There are lots of other things that you can do. RAG applications is another example where even JavaScript is supporting those. So yes, sir. Oh, very good. RAG, right, sir. Right. Correct. RAG is one specific way to retrieve and then generate. So it retrieves data and then generates new content from the data that it retrieved, right? So that is part of RAG, and good that you're exploring these. Try the agentic approach that I told you, the design pattern approach. Only thing is there might be some cost involved for the cloud space and all, but I think Google is kind enough to give us so much, the kind of investment that Google is making in order to enable all of you to helping your career going forward. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Let's invite Mr. Shravan, Digital Marketing Head L4G, onto the dais.
Me questions, not technical. Technical, Akash will take care. But else you want to know, would you have any questions? Because you know I'm going to come here today. So would anybody of you have any questions? I'm happy to take that first, and then maybe I will still talk about what I wanted to. No questions? Don't want to know anything about Google Cloud?
Google is really offering for the students to go with this kind of development. They are really stuck up with, as Akash is also speaking about, computing cost is high. That's where people are really stuck up.
So when you say
what is your offering to that?
How can we help them build
Build
models
as well as
or
infrastructure.
Okay.
At no cost for students.
Okay.
Or low cost at least.
Right. Okay, I don't know what was that joke about, but yeah. So honestly, I think currently we want to enable them with the courses, what we're providing currently. That is something I'll surely talk about. Apart from them, from the infrastructure, credits is something we already give to the students to build. So that is something we can always do. But beyond that, I think, no, I'm not somebody who can answer it. Yeah. Anything else? Anything from the students, crowd? Okay, nothing. Then I'll just step into my presentation. So again, it's an honor to be here. And today I want to talk to you something about the transforming the world of technologies and creating new possibilities every day, which is Google Cloud. Let's start by understanding the journey of cloud first, right? So over the past decade, cloud technology has evolved from a mere concept to a cornerstone modern IT infrastructure. And everybody now is kind of gradually moving from the traditional infrastructure to the cloud. So Google Cloud has been at the forefront of this evolution, providing scalability, security, and also intelligent solutions that empower business and also individuals like you. Holding on to that thought, why is Google doing this in first place is basically enabling you, and also Akash was talking about technologies where you need in the future. Maybe currently you will not have a ready-made job, but however, you are equipped to do that particular job in the near future. Once I understand you're mostly in the 4th years. So you have that skill set. Once you're out into the market, you're ready to start working on that. So that is where we launched something called a Google Cloud Career Launchpad. This is a combination of different courses, but also gives you a way or a path to achieve your particular dream job or dream role. Very specifically, basically upskilling you and also upskilling you with the in-demand skills, not just any regular, but however what is actually needed in the market out right there. That is where we upskill you. On that note, almost 85% of the enterprises are adopting cloud-first principles. And 80% of the IT leaders say that we don't have the skill set, right? So here is where Google is kind of putting in efforts to give you that opportunity to build that skills. Then you become ready while the organization start deploying or using our products, you are ready and skilled to start working on them. And you are basically the future workforce. And more than 1/3 of tech leaders said professional cloud skills are missing. So that is why we cover the whole dynamics of the cloud. Great. So these are the 6 courses we offer for all the students. We would recommend everybody to start with the foundational course, that is the Google Cloud Computing Foundational Certificate. Once that's done, you can always choose to do the Google Cloud Engineering Certificate. The second one is a globally recognized certificate, and it is a proctored exam. And the best part about this is if you complete the certification, Google hosts a career fair every year. So you will be basically invited for this exclusive career fair if you finish this certification. Post that, you can also, if you want to get into cybersecurity roles, you can also finish that certificate and data analytics. Cybersecurity and data analytics also have an attached capstone project inculcated into the curriculum. So that becomes a really good case study to kind of talk about it while you're giving interviews, for the job hunt. Now, currently, you're enrolled already in the GenAI, and I'm very happy to see, majority of you have already completed the course. And maybe you can also help your peers to, help them complete their own course. So I'm very happy and glad that I've seen so many hands up there. Google Digital Cloud Leader is more about what are the products available. So if in an organization you have a certain problem, you will be in a position, or for not even just working for an organization, right? If you want to build something on your own, you want to be an entrepreneur, this is the course where it helps you understand what are the products available and basically understand the security levels, or economical levels, everything in this particular course. Again, this is just a video of you to give a glimpse of what happens in the career fair. So this happened last year in Bangalore. All the students who have completed their Associate Cloud Engineer certification, we go through a series of process. If you're shortlisted, you are invited to this physical fair. So these are the shortlisted students, right? And then these are basically almost at the last interview and gonna get their placements offer letter. So again, Akshata is my colleague. We all work in the same team. So this is just a glimpse of how the whole thing works. This year we are doing it in September. Again, the career fair is hosted with Google Cloud clients and customers. And everybody who is looking for skills in, DevOps or somebody who has data analytics, all of those things, but from a cloud perspective, GCP models. So just students, I'm sure you would have also heard about the arcade, because that's more of a gamifying way of learning things. You can also register there if you don't want to do a very traditional. There's a program that we run which is called the arcade. It's completely gamified. You get goodies and all of those things. Even other courses, if you complete a certain percentage as a college, we do offer some goodies there. You can be a student mentor. I take interviews and appoint one of you guys as student mentors, and you get a certificate saying so-and-so is a student mentor from Google Cloud, a representation of Google Cloud. So all of these opportunities are there. If you want to explore more, you can always reach out to either the L4G team or me directly. Happy to assist you there. Yeah, maybe I will, that's all I had, but happy to take any questions if you still have any. No questions at all? All clear? No questions for me? Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I request Mr. Shravan Digital Marketing Head L4G to come onto the dais and deliver his notion.
Hello. Hello. Okay. Nice to see you all so much in so many numbers. How many of you will be there in the room? 400, 300, 100, 250. Okay. My question was, how many of you are there in this room? I didn't ask you how many crows are flying above your college. Then answer easy. How many crows are flying above your college? Is that easy? Or how many students are there in this room? Which is easy? First one. Okay. I'm not here to teach you anything technical. Nakasal raadu kuda. I don't even know the spelling of generative AI. Okay? I'm just here to have some fun. Are you all ready? Are you all ready? I was told VVIT is very noisy, vibrant, young, dynamic. Ivanni nijamena? Yes or no? Saripotla. Okay. I'll teach you how to make noise today. That's why I'm here. I'll teach you how to make noise. But you have to follow 3 rules. Are you ready, everybody? 3 simple rules we'll follow. But before that, let us thank your friends. 3 of them, they have been standing all day and doing all of this. Can I have your names, please? Praveen. Pawan. Let's thank Pawan and Hemashri. And Rakesh. Can you give a round of applause to them? I also want to thank the guy who's taking the video. Your name? Tan parenti? Mahesh. Okay. నాకు అర్థం కాలేదు కానీ but whatever it is, thank you so much అండి. A good round of applause for him as well. First, step 1 is all of you have to stand up. Step 2 is you have to choose a friend next to you. Okay? No, we are not going to jump or we are not going to play. Okay? Simple rule. Choose a friend next to you. But some of you have a problem. I know. Na pakkana god undi sir. I have a wall next to me. I have an empty chair next to me. Next to me my sir is sitting. I can't do this. Right? So choose anybody. If there's a wall next to you, choose the person behind you. Okay? Choose a friend. Rule number 2. Is it clear? Yes or no? Rule number 1, you have to stand up. Rule number 2, choose a friend next to you. Rule number 3 is, you just did now. What did you do? When I said let's thank all of them, what did you do? You clapped, right? So rule number 3 is, you have to clap harder than your friend next to you. Okay? Wait, I'll tell you how to do it. Let's do it like this. This noise should go till Vijayawada. Wait, on the count of 3, let us do this. You'll be surprised. You just heard how you clapped some time back. Now, follow these 3 rules. You'll clap superbly. Okay? Rule number 1, you all need to stand up. Please stand up, everybody. Okay, stay quiet so that your sound will be more. The noise will be more. Okay? Rule number 2, is your friend next to you ready? Ready? So you have to clap harder than your friend. Harder and faster. Gurtupeట్టుకోండి. Simple rule. On the count of 3, let us start clapping for 30 seconds. Non-stop 30 seconds. Okay? I'll ask you to stop. Now voice meeku inapadakodu. Mic pan cheyakodu. Anta gettiga undali. Are you ready? Are you ready, VVIT? Superb. On the count of 3, let us start. 1, 2, 3, go. More, come on. Come on, guys, come on. Okay, thank you so much. Please sit down. ఇలాంటివి చాలా ఉన్నాయి. Shall we do like this? Shall we have more fun? I need one. Today is a team effort. Shweta, Akash, and me, and we three are talking, but there's a team behind us. To get that, you are making noise in the world outside. Meaning, the world will look at you. You are on the latest technology. Now, let's say I passed out 20 years back. In 2004, I passed out of my engineering, right? Now, if luckily I'm not on the software side, but if at all I was on the software side, do you think is it easy for me to pick up generative AI now? Akash mentioned LinkedIn came in 2005. I started working before LinkedIn came. Now, don't calculate my age, okay? Okay, so in 2005, when LinkedIn came, now he asked a simple question. Is your approach going to be same 20 years back and 20 years now? It is not. That means people like me have coded LinkedIn then, have built the platform LinkedIn then. Now, for the people who built 20 years ago something, is it easy to adopt to the latest change of technology that is happening, what Shweta said or what Akash said, generative AI, or what you guys are talking? I only heard about vector image. I have never heard about all these things, big things that you guys are talking today, all the LLMs, all of this, right? So it is not easy for people like me to learn and change paths and kind of unlearn and learn new things. But you guys are exactly coming into the picture with the latest technologies. Now, you might arrive at a situation where once you land in a job, you might be technically superior than your project manager or your vice president technology. I mean it. What I'm saying, I mean it. From the technology standpoint, you might have more knowledge or you might have created more innovation than the manager or than the technical lead whom you might be working with. Are you getting my point? Is it not wonderful? Is it not great to do it? But you have to finish the things that you got, which came into your lap. Now, why did we do this much of effort? Now, for Google Cloud, to really launch this campaign countrywide, there's a cost. It is not free. It's free of cost for all of you. But there's a cost to it. What is L4G doing with it? All of you watch this movie? Latest movie, what is the biggest hit movie? Which collected 1,000 crores? Kalki. Kalki hai na? Yes? Only 1 out of 700, 400, 300. Surprising. Okay. నిజంగా చూడలేదా? చూసి చెప్పట్లేదా? చూసి చెప్పట్లేదు. Very nice. You saw it, but you're not telling it out. I would suggest take some time and watch this movie, Kalki, because this is the futuristic movie. Exactly alage untadani cheppalemo. Okay. Kalki చూడలేదన్నారు, so I need to go to another example. How many saw Big Boss 8? Big Boss 8 రాలేదా? అదేంటి నాగార్జున వస్తుందని చెప్పాడు నాకు. ఓకే, Big Boss 7 వచ్చిందా? ఓకే, from Big Boss 1, that time you guys might have been in school, Big Boss 1 వచ్చినప్పుడు, but now looking back, Big Boss 3, 4, I think you should remember. From then to Big Boss 7, what was the change on the technology side? Don't tell me the contestants who won, ఏం జరిగింది, వాళ్ళ గొడవలు నాకొద్దు. On the technology side, what was the change you saw in the last Big Boss? Alarm and cameras? Morning alarm వస్తుంది కదా Big Bossలో. Not that, right? I saw one change. That is the way of calling, the people calling, the 3D calling or the 3D hologram calling, whatever is the technical name for it. I saw that change. You saw the same thing applied in Kalki movie also? When I'm talking, there's a person next to me. He can see me wherever the calls are. Today I'm just seeing the person on the screen. But I can virtually see a person standing here with the help of those laser or whatever, and I can talk to him. I can see his expressions. Isn't that the future? Right? We are in 2024. But I have a good friend of mine who used this in 2014. Now don't calculate where were you in 2014. All of you were in 7th class. 7th or 8th class, maybe 6th also, could be. I'm telling so perfectly because my kid now is in 6th class. He doesn't listen to me. And a very naughty guy. Okay? In 2014, I have a friend of mine who used this concept of, we are talking AI today, but AI was there a decade back. Would you agree to this? Would you agree to this? But the name AI wasn't there perfectly. It was coined. By then, it was already coined. Now, who is that friend of mine who used this technology almost across all the states in the country and have become, what do you say, the most powerful man in the country? All of you also know him. Who is it? Rajnikant. Rajnikant kaadu. Not Robo. We are talking only about Kalki now. Who is the guy? All of you know. మీ అందరికీ వరుస కూడా అవుతాడు. He's a relative to all of us. ఎవరు? Not a movie star, not a sports star. ఇంకెవరు? చాయ్ వాలా? ఎవరు? Modi. Mr. Narendra Modi, all of you know him? Anyone who has not seen him? All of us saw him. He used this technology. Okay, by the way, I said he's a relative of mine, kada? Prime Minister varsa avutadu ante naku. Right? He's a Prime Minister to me. I know him, but he doesn't know me. Okay? Okay, why I'm going back, why are we having so much fun and trying to do this? 10 years back, in 2014, he used a similar concept. He spoke at he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat then, right? But he used technology, he used digital or the social platforms for the first time in a different way, where he was speaking at one event. For example, I'm speaking here, but that technology made him appear in 15 odd events which were happening of similar size. The technology showed up in laser, he was not there. It's only a virtual image of his. So one meeting of his was equal to 15 meetings in 15 different countries. So with 15 meetings, he covered 1 crore people. With 15 meetings, he covered 1 crore people. The ruling Congress party then never understood this logic. They were saying he was doing a James Bond show. This is what it was saying. He's showing us a James Bond movie, but that brought him to power. He's still in power, kada? Basically, since you started talking about it, he's the Prime Minister since last 10 years. Miss High School lo tane Prime Minister, Inter lo tane Prime Minister. You're also finishing your engineering now, you're almost getting ready to work. He still is the Prime Minister. Probably he will be for another 5 years or 10 years, who knows. Okay? So this is how things are evolving. Things are changing over a period of time. And now you guys have this simple 3 modules that you need to finish. What are those 3 modules? Introduction to generative AI, that I know because I also finished that. Second one, generative AI, what? GenAI for generative AI. That's the second module. Third module, third learning path. Generative AI for developers. Am I right? Am I right on all the 3 learning paths? Okay. Now, here is the game. Why we are here, or why what we wanted to convey with this launch is basically L4G in coordination with Google Cloud India. We have come up and launched this program free of cost for all of you, but we are working in 250 plus colleges across the country to get this rolled. So as the banner says, we are getting 1 lakh students. We are empowering 1 lakh students like you across the country to get this program rolling, or to create the next generation workforce on Gen AI. Are you ready to be there? Yes? Okay. L4G is what do you say? L4G has about 3 decades of experience, and it takes the courses, or it takes the mastermind research or whatever innovations that technology partners like Google do. It takes them, and we are empowered to and have a good outreach to take it to students like you on a large scale. 1 lakh students at a time, they can do this. How are we enabling it? We are enabling it with a technology-backed applications. Now, today my team can give me, if I pick up one, if I point like this and say, that blue shirt guy in the last row, where is he with his GenAI course? Or I might say, where is Rakesh with his GenAI course if he has registered? My team can give me the status in 20 seconds. 20 seconds, they'll tell you how much time you spent on that course, till where you finished, yesterday evening, when did you shut down before going to a movie or going to an ice cream parlor or to a bakery nearby, or trying to have Manchurian in your college, right? So all of that, it is tracked. So the expertise or the innovation of Google supported with the logistics or the ability of L4G to take it to the next level, or to do the outreach in such a large numbers, backed by technology, is where we are trying to achieve this. Are we clear? In short, I'll tell you, let's go back to that movie Kalki. I am going to wind up in a couple of minutes. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to take. Okay? Let's go back to that movie Kalki. And if you haven't seen Buji, please go and see. Please go and see Buji. Why I'm saying that? For the people who have seen the movie, you should have seen a small icon-like head which comes up and talks to Prabhas. Does it do? It talks, right? Or should we do one more round of clapping? It looks like everybody's sleeping. Okay, let me tell you the secret why I did that clapping. I saw some of you sleeping. That's why I did that whole drama of making you clap. And I thought I should teach you how to make noise. Okay, coming back to my last line. Please understand this very carefully. In that movie, Prabhas is the hero. Yes? To me, all of you are Prabhas. I'll tell you how. Let's exactly relate to that movie. Now that small character which was talking with its voice, with the AI voice, Buji, that is exactly Google's innovation, or Google Cloud's innovation, or GenAI program that is in your hands right now. It is guiding you just the way it did to Prabhas in that movie. L4G is like that vehicle outside that is fitted in a small vehicle, and where Prabhas flight goes around, he goes on the road, he flies, there are multiple modes to it. L4G is that vehicle for you. And that AI voice, that Buji, is Google GenAI program. Both are in your hands right now. You need to finish it and be the next Prabhas, or be the hero. Now, when I take this example, in the morning when I took this example, one girl came to me and said, "Sir, you are only talking about the hero. Hero does not have a gender. Ee movie lo nenu teeskunna example lo Prabhas annanu kani, but you can. Hero doesn't have a gender." So she said, "I will not do this course because you said Prabhas. Only boys should do this course." It's not like that, right? You have a chance to be hero. You have a super vehicle right now with you. So will it be a promise that all of you are going to finish that course soon? Yes? Was that course really tough, easy, good to do, must to do? What's your feedback? What do you think? Must to do. Okay. Was that easy? Were you able to follow the curriculum? Or how is it? You're able to follow, right? You need someone to teach you? I don't think you need somebody to teach you because nobody taught you how to. Did somebody teach you how to use WhatsApp? Instagram Reels? YouTube channels? No, right? Then I don't think somebody needs to teach you this as well. Right? Okay, VVIT with 3 simple steps. 1, 2, 3. Not the clapping steps, but the 3 modules. Is that a promise that you're making to us? Yes or no? I couldn't hear. I'm getting old. I can't hear. I have some problems. Yes or no? Okay. Another important thing I want to tell you is, all people like you, how many years have you spent in this college so far? 3 full years? 3 full years? How many days are there in 3 years? 365 into 3. Don't calculate. Don't take so much pain. It is more than 1,000 days. All of you have spent more than 1,000 days in this campus. You did a lot of learning. You studied with each other. You were there with each other in the entire journey. But are you ready for the industry? Do you have that one piece of paper which shows all your profile in one piece of paper? What is that piece of paper called? Okay. Resume was when I went for my first job, 20 years back. But what is your resume today? Somebody said the answer. Yeah, you're right. Go ahead, take a guess. Girls. Portfolio. But where do you want to have that portfolio? CV, yeah, CV, resume. I'm not asking the meaning for the word resume. I'm saying, what is your resume as on date? Okay, I still have one TV in my home. That TV was brought when I was 10 years old, this full table. Okay, today it's not working. I kept it as an antique piece. Antique piece meaning one of those old generation collections, right? It's not working. Today's TV, how much is it? You're seeing in your mobile only, right? So things have changed. Same way, how has your resume changed over years? Digital resume. Now, what is a digital resume? I'm talking here. I'm trying to tell something here that will only reach these 300 people. Now, if I take a small message and put it on Twitter, what happens? It reaches thousands, millions. Yeah? Similarly, a resume for you is your LinkedIn profile. Are you getting me? LinkedIn profile of yours is a reflection of what you have learned in this 1,000 days or your 1,365 days. I counted the 4th year. Okay? Are you getting it? How important your LinkedIn profile is? How many of you have LinkedIn profiles? Okay. I don't know. Keep your hands up. How many of you have LinkedIn profiles? Keep your hands up. Like this. A full hands up. Wow. A lot of you. Now, it's not over. Don't. How many of you have active LinkedIn profiles? The hands have gone down. All of you are noticing it? See, there are about 40 to 50 active LinkedIn profiles. That's good. Last week, I was in a similar gathering like this in Hyderabad, and head of HR or the Adobe India. Have you heard of the company called Adobe? Yes. Adobe India's head HR, or she's the national HR for Adobe. Her name is Ruchi. She was saying, Shravan, I have not come across one single college in entire India where all the students of the college, be it first year, be it second year, be it fourth year, whether it is engineering, MBA, whatever, I've not seen one, disciplined college, socially disciplined college, which has all students having active LinkedIn profile. I said, why is it, Ruchi? Why are you saying that statement? She said, it takes just 30 seconds to make a LinkedIn post. It takes 2 minutes to do an Instagram reel, or it takes a little more. The efforts on this are much low, and it gets you your first salary. Today, how many of you are getting a pocket money of 30,000 per month? Everybody? No. Sure. Okay. So, parents are not giving you that much of money, but you have a chance to earn your first 30K. How? Go on LinkedIn, be active, post whatever you're learning on LinkedIn, connect with the industry leaders. You can even apply for jobs on LinkedIn. You can apply for internships on LinkedIn. How you have to do? We have something called 3-hour workshop. If your management or if your placement feels we needs to do this, we can help you out on that note. But have an active LinkedIn profile along with your GenAI certification. That will get you will be a champion, or you will be the Prabhas, or you will be the hero. Are you all ready to be the hero? Okay. Thank you so much. That's all I have. Thank you.
I request Srikanth sir to come on the dais and deliver his notion.
Yeah, good evening, guys. My face might be very familiar to you. I might have met you personally, right? Most of you, not all of you, most of you. From the front two rows, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so anyways, thanks for being a part of Generative AI program launched in collaboration with Google by L4G. So I heartfully thank Sri Shweta Garu from Google Cloud team, and our learning head Akash Sinha Garu, and the principal and the delegates over here organizing this whole event at VVIT, and our chairman sir Vidyasagar Garu. Okay, thanks for your valuable time, and thanks for attending this wonderful session. Thank you very much. Thank you once again.
I request our beloved principal sir to come on to the dais, and Dr. T. Sudhir sir, AIDS HOD, and Dr. M.V. Raghuram sir, Dean Placements, and felicitate the delegates. I invite Mr. Akash Sinha, Development and Learning Head, L4G. Ms. Sri Shweta Kumari Komineni, to come on to the dais. I request Mr. Shravan sir, Digital Marketing Head L4G, to come on to the dais. And I request Srikanth sir to come on to the dais. Thank you to all the dignitaries.
It is a great pleasure to be a part of this auspicious event. I would like to extend our heartfelt congratulations to the entire team who made this event a huge success. Thank you one and all, and have a pleasant evening.
I would like to draw your attention and request everyone to stand up as we play the national anthem.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हिंद.